What's up, my beautiful friends? My name is Emelina Calder. Welcome to I'm Woke. In this video, I'm gonna go through the January 2024 energy update for the brand new year. If you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Emelina. I'm a spiritual high-performance life and business coach, a modern cosmic shaman, a spiritual mentor, and a personal branding and digital marketing coach for creatives, coaches, and entrepreneurs. What you can expect to find on my channel are energy updates for the new moons and full moons channeled by yours truly from the Akashic Records and the Law of One, which is source consciousness, as well as personal development and spiritual development videos to help you get that edge and become and step into your next level, highest, best, most favorite version of yourself. If that sounds like your vibe, go ahead and tap that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Because my love, you are going to love my channel. On the topic of all things spirituality and source, I channeled a meditation for you guys to help you connect with source, reestablish your source connection, strengthen your own creativity. It's called the Rainbow Sacred Flame of Creation, and you can get a hold of that meditation for free in the description link below. Without further ado, let's jump right into the brand new year energy update. And I've got my dear friend here, my Angel Aura Quartz. It's a rose quartz holding some beautiful, vibrant love space for us today. So I'm gonna take this a little slower than I usually do. I usually channel ahead. And for this video, I was just getting more that I'm just gonna be here and channel in the moment. So the first thing that's coming through is that January is really starting off a really vibrant connection to love. For those of you that are single, you are going to be out there and loving every minute of it. For those of you that are in a committed relationship, you're gonna be taking your relationship to the next level, whatever that means for you, whether it's like really diving into more passion or making a new commitment. Something that's been channeling through a lot recently is that there are a lot of connections being made like across the collective. This is gonna sound so silly, it'll sound like so basic, but it's truly not. There are a lot of really deep soulmate connections, like coming on grid, as I like to say, but really coming into the collective field. So the more people that wake up, which we keep coming into these really big, wide waves of thousands and thousands of people waking up in waves. And this has been happening all year and last year as well. And the more people that wake up, the more that when they express and feel love and feel connection, they're seeking soulmate connections and bonds. They're seeking deeper spiritual bonds associated with love, not just like physical contact, typical human relationship type of love, if that makes sense. So there's a real like magnetism for soulmate relationships right now. So if you feel like that your love life is like really changing, and again, I don't mean to go basic, this is gonna sound like really vague and broad as I'm beginning, but I promise that there's a lot of like information in the downloads of the heart frequency that's being communicated to you guys through the actual transmission of the channel. And this might sound kind of funny, but I feel like a lot of you are gonna get very bored with like very typical types of relationships. So more physically oriented relationships that like used to really be attractive to you. Like maybe you'd be like, oh, that person at the bar is real hot. Like I'm going up to them. Like what I try to describe is like the more human relationships that are really based on physical attraction and convenience are going to just kind of like not be enough for a lot of you, for most of you watching this video. And what's funny is when you haven't like hit the more depth of the different levels of energetic awakening, human relationships can be really great. They can be really fun. And by human, I don't mean like that the rest are alien. I just mean more physical and not based in a soul connection or a soul contract per se. The relationships that are a little more based on convenience, they can be more karmic partner-based relationships. They are very physical. They don't necessarily meet the other needs like emotional connection, mental connection, or spiritual connection. They are your typical like lower triangle, root, sacral, solar plexus, I'll spare the details, but you guys know where I'm going with this. And those relationships can be really great. When you start to really gain momentum in your own spiritual practice and you're really exercising a lot of conscious awareness across the multitude of the relationships that you attract, you then start to want something more than the pure physical connection. So those of you that are like, I don't understand, I'm just not attracted to anyone, like nobody's really turning me on, like I feel like there might be something wrong with me. And I know that this is channeling through right now, like that this will be something that a lot of you are encountering where you're like, gosh, I just don't feel attracted to people the way I usually did. Like, what's happening to me? Did my libido just completely leave? No, it's that you're being elevated. And as you increase your capacity for your spiritual awareness, less conscious relationships just become inherently unattractive. And a lot of you are going to be seeking, whether or not you know it consciously, the depth of soulmate unions. Now, I say this from the place of knowing that we don't just have one soulmate. Soulmate is a deep spiritual connection or spiritual bond that we share. They're like soul families where we are energetically connected at the soul level. And when we incarnate on Earth, we have many, many, many soulmates. And those soulmates can come in as platonic relationships. They can be in family members. They can be in friendships. They can come in as romantic relationships and everything in between. There are many different soulmate type of connections. The caveat here is not all soulmates are great. Some soulmates can have darker implications. We have like dark soulmate opposites to us if we are light. Some soulmates are really great and really bright. Some, there are so many different soulmate contracts. But anyway, so a lot of you are going to be looking for something that's more deep of a connection. And if I could be totally honest, that might freak you guys out. What I have noticed, I'm just going to tell you a little, I'm just going to give you a little experience from my last couple of years of dating, is that I am a pro at magnetizing in soulmates into my life, both platonic and romantic. And what I find with the soulmates is the soulmates that are less versed in soulmate connections, which is pretty much all of them, they get really, really freaked out when they get into romantic relationship with another soulmate. Because what I'm finding, it's not very common to attract a lot of soulmate romantic relationships because it requires a certain level of consciousness. Now, for those of you watching this video, I get the feeling that there are a lot of you that have not had very many romantic soulmate connections because they are intense. When you are in a relationship with a soulmate, you're not just entangled at the physical level. You are emotionally entangled. You are also mentally entangled and spiritually entangled. So to give you guys an example, if you want to part ways and if it is a little less than perfect, the detangling of each part of the process in order to open yourself up to receive a new soul connection is quite a process, which is why many of you have stuck to very physical, convenient, human romantic connections. Now, I don't know why they're guiding me into this, but this is just where my heart is leading me right now in the energy update for this month. For those of you that this resonates with, this will be amazing. Take what you love, leave the rest. If you find yourself dating people that feel a little more intense, you're like more intensely attracted to them and it feels like you're tripping over yourself or you're falling, that's pretty normal for soulmate connections. Something that I don't feel like people talk about enough that I'm happy to share my experience with is that when you fall in love with a soulmate, there are a number of things here I'll jump into. One, it happens very quickly. You can fall in love on a second date. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Soulmate connections just light up so many parts of your experience that the feeling of being in love can happen very quickly because it doesn't require physical attraction. The way that the soulmates typically speak to each other is through eye contact, through tone of voice, and what else? Oh, and through kissing. That's like oh my gosh, like I know a soulmate immediately based on eye contact, tonal quality, and voice, and especially if I kiss them. So the thing about kissing is that the tongue is an extension of the heart. The heart is a direct connection to the soul and how the soul speaks. So if you really like feel a strong connection through eye contact, like I don't even know how to describe it. It's happened to me so many times that I know that this is how my soul speaks through me. And I assume that other people have similar experiences too. I think probably the translation is like love at first sight, but it's really a soulmate connection. Like it's soul acknowledging soul. And that happens through eye contact, and that can happen really quickly. The same thing through kissing. It's soul acknowledges soul, and that's happening at the emotional level. Through kissing, that could probably also happen through physical contact as well, but I'm not sure exactly. For me, that just comes across through the heart chakra expressing itself through the tongue. And now let's jump into the sensation of falling, because here's the deal with soulmate connections. The sensation of falling in love is real. And the way people paint it is like, it's like, oh my God, I'm falling in love. It's so cute. Let me be really clear and honest with you guys. For those of you that are tripping into soulmate love connections over the next month, 3 months, 6 months, the fall is real. It does actually feel like you're falling. And every time I have connected with a soulmate, I receive, like at the romantic level, I have received this full sensation, and it really, when I watch the other people go through it, it really freaks them out. I know what to look for, so when it happens, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like, all right, like, here we go. Let's see if they can handle it. But it's like, it is a full-on sensation of a fall. Anything that doesn't meet the higher frequency of emerging of like soul love, unconditional love, gets shaken out and you feel a fall. Like anything that doesn't meet that frequency of love is brought up to the surface through an energetic purge, through ascension symptoms. It's very uncomfortable. And I've noticed for myself, it feels like being on a crazy roller coaster, and I've just like acknowledged that that's what it feels like. And I know what the fall feels like to me. So when it happens, I'm like not disoriented by it. But I found that a lot of people don't experience a lot of deep soulmate connections. So when they experience it, they freak out and they either run, hide, dismiss it because they think they're crazy. And I guess I'm just bringing this up to the surface so you don't gaslight yourself, because this is like literally it's being channeled through me. This is going to be such a present feeling, such a present connection, not just for one or two of you. I'm seeing waves of thousands of people meeting their like first really deep either twin flame or soulmate connections in this lifetime, and then having this total disorienting matrix of thought, belief patterns, emotions, and then running from it. And I guess I'm just kind of telling you that this is the process. And maybe don't run from it, fall into it, and just see what happens. Because like, it is what it is. It's kind of like going to an amusement park, getting on the roller coaster, and the roller coaster is like the soulmate connection, right? And then being upset that your stomach hurts in the drop. Like, I mean, that's what happens. Like, that is what happens when you go on a roller coaster. And you're on the roller coaster because you want to enjoy the sensation of like having the momentum of a ride that's like 1 minute and 30 seconds or whatever. Like, I would liken these deep romantic soulmate bonds to an amusement park. And I think if you think of them that way, it takes some of the pressure off of what otherwise can feel like a terror ride. It can be a lot of exhilaration. You don't know what's going on. It's very disorienting, and you have to give it all up to higher power and rely on source to carry you through, because the poor little humans that we are just have no idea what's going on. So that is a big theme for January, kicking off the new year. I'm literally seeing within the next 6 months, for those of you that are single, I am seeing a lot of you being paired with very deep soul connections. I'm seeing a lot of you have really done the work, the personal growth and development work that is required to be in soulmate divine union, to have a really healthy beautiful soulmate love connection that is reciprocated. And honestly, you guys deserve it. You deserve like, oh gosh, juicy, delicious love that meets you both physically, mentally is stimulating, emotionally is fulfilling, and is spiritually prosperous. And you can feel that spiritual energy moving in between you guys. And just for the record, for those of you that don't know yet, sex is to a whole nother level when you are with soulmate connections. Like the energy is exchanged, the orgasm is exchanged at all levels. And when you tap into that, you can go into levels of tantra. You could, I don't know, you could just like, you can work through your healing, through the soul, through your sexuality and sensuality practice with a safe, intimate partner. And that's really cool. So I'll throw that out to you guys for those of you that resonate with that. Enjoyed that. Now in January too, there's been a lot of closure of really big karmic cyclical patterns for a lot of you guys. Like I'm seeing sweeping karmic patterns have been changed. Like we have done some really big heavy lifting with all of our own personal karma. So if you're used to your life being a certain way, you're used to struggling a certain amount, you're used to a lot of difficulties that have been just repeating over and over and over again, whether they're in your love life, whether they're in your family, whether they've been in your career, whether they've been, or your health even. You have done the serious work that is to overcome the cycle. And as we enter January, not only are we entering a new year, but we have actually as a collective, this collective that I'm channeling through right now, those of us that have been on this awakening path have like really shifted gears. And they're showing me like we just shifted out of third gear, moved through fourth gear through January, and then we're going right into fifth gear, which also tells me that we're all going to be picking up a lot of momentum with the things that we've been asking for and manifesting, and the lives that we've been trying to synchronize to manifest, right? Whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's big career moves, whether it's family, for those of you looking to have children, for those of you raising children, like all of these things that you've been trying to manifest. Once we click into fifth gear, which they're showing me is like in less than 3 months, probably in like 6 to 8 weeks, we're gonna be sprinting. Like, because you know, if you're driving a car, right, you're driving a stick shift, you go from third gear to fourth gear to fifth gear. Like in third gear, you're going like 30 miles an hour. In fifth gear, you can be going 90. Like that's what we're looking at. And it is that drastic of a difference. And what they're showing me is the stability also in all of the work that we've done up until this point is that we've been in third gear going, oh, I just want to get into fifth gear. I wanted to get in fifth gear. I want to sprint. I want my life to take off. I want to go now. I want to go 90 miles an hour. Like I'm done with the slow bullshit. And the universe is like, you got it. You're just shifting gears. And it takes a second at the physical level. So we're in third gear. January is moving into fourth gear. Okay. And then we're going to move into fifth gear. And like, what I would say to you is buckle the F up, like get ready, because this fifth gear, what they're showing me is like, we're not driving at 60, you guys. Like, I don't know about you, but girl likes to go fast. I'm gonna be going like 90 miles an hour. So be prepared. Take January and February to really secure your life in a very physical way. Get on top of your finances. You know, go through any habits or patterns that are no longer working for you. Try to get your attention over to like parts of your consciousness that are self-sabotaging or ways that you're crumbling or like not supportive of your success or maybe not looking out for your health. Make sure that you're taking care of your body to like a really, really tight level, because when we start going 90 miles an hour and we're in fifth gear and we're manifesting a lot quickly, the body can have trouble keeping up. So make sure that the body is tuned in now. An easy way you can do that and take care of that, what I like to do is in January, I will do a 5-day fast. Actually, I'm kind of lying to you guys. Last year, I did a 2-week water fast, the first week of January. And I did that to clear my body for the entire year to clear any pain, and to bring joy into every cell of my body. And I spent all year syncing up to that joy. If you're interested in fasting, I will link the card over here somewhere to the video series I did on fasting, where you pair prayer and fasting in order to set the consciousness for your entire year. I also have a series of videos about taking care of the body that I'll link in the description below. And what I'm being told to share with you guys right now too is not to get discouraged. So for all of you that have been preparing from 2022 to 2023 to now, like you've been preparing for what this idea or vision of your life was going to look like. Maybe you got a little discouraged because it's not quite here yet. Like you've been working and toiling, like God knows 2022 was a setup. 2023, like we worked hard, you guys. Like we're purging shit all year. And now we're entering 2024 and it's like, oh, it's taking a minute. Like I still have this vision of what I want my life to look like. Like what they're communicating to me right now to channel through for you guys is that is 2024. That is this year. And it's going to pick up very quickly, which means you have to be very on top of your game so that you don't get like sideswiped by your own success. We're talking like amazing career opportunities, big cash windfalls, consistent cash, big up levels in your finances. We're talking like for some of you, new babies, new children, building a family. Like be prepared. I know a lot of you, and I've got some people in mind that have been waiting, like trying to create the circumstances to be able to bring children into this world. That's gonna come. And then all of a sudden you're gonna have to very quickly get it together. So prepare now. There's a lot of creativity in the air. For those of you that are looking for new projects, new businesses, new big creative endeavors, those ideas are in the cloud of consciousness that have your name on them. You've been assigned to them and they will be downloaded into you within the first couple of months of the year. So keep your eye out, keep your spiritual awareness open, so that when those ideas come, you don't swat them away because they are for you. Just like how your special person, your soulmate relationship is for you, just like your ideal career is for you, these ideas are for you. I'm also seeing a lot of you guys stepping into the limelight, into public image roles, whether it's acting, whether it's being on stage and public speaking, whether it's becoming an author, whether it's television opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of you that normally have held back, that I don't know that I would consider you guys to be shy, but it's almost like there's a section of the population that is so deserving of being in the public eye that wouldn't normally fight to be in the public image or wouldn't normally go the traditional celebrity track. And Spirit is like, we don't care. We want people out in public image that are going to be able to actually spread from their heart the consciousness and the light to the people that need it. And Spirit is taking over. And I am seeing a lot of you stepping into even like minor, I don't want to say celebrity, but like roles where you have a lot of public attention on you, a lot of eyeballs, like y'all going viral on YouTube, okay, or going viral on TikTok, or somehow being ushered into big audiences, or all of a sudden you're like public speaking to a room of 2,000 people. Like, I don't know, I'm just channeling it through. But if this is something that sounds right to you and you'll feel it in your heart and your soul and you might feel a little bit scared, then that has your name on it. This is a time of total, complete prosperity. I feel like for the last 5 to 7 years, there's been a big group of us that have been preparing and purging, like just letting go of all the karmic baggage and the collective consciousness around the ideas of wealth, of success, of love, of publicity and visibility. And we've been doing the work, and like the benefits are going to come this year. Like all of a sudden, there's going to be a huge group of us lifted into, they just keep showing me public image, like on pedestals. They're showing me people being lifted into pedestals immediately. Like one day, not that many people know you, and then like all of a sudden millions of people know you. That's a reality for a lot of you. If that feels like something that is in your energetic fields, if you feel it, it is for you. Again, this is for a certain portion of the population that will resonate with this in this video. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. That message isn't for you. At a smaller level, for many of you, if you don't see yourself in like a big visibility role, it will just be stepping into more visibility in your current career. Maybe getting a promotion, or maybe you're not publicly visible, but you're very visible when it comes down to the C-suite executives or whoever it is you're dealing with at the companies you're working at. Maybe it comes down to you separating from a company and starting your own business. Maybe it's going to be finally starting that side hustle, trying to activate a new stream of income. God knows we all have access to social media, and you know, we don't all always love social media, but the ability to connect with millions of people online for borderline free exists, and it's real, and you're here. So you can use these tools as well, and it's something to think about. How can you step into more visibility publicly, maybe on social media, have a side hustle or have a main hustle in a business, and allow yourself to receive multiple sources of income? If you're not already thinking like this, start thinking like this. The universe is abundant. There is plenty of money. There are plenty of ideas. There are plenty of people that would like to pay you in exchange for a service or in exchange for multiple services. And there's no reason why you can't place yourself in a position of success, high self-worth, and abundance to receive that flow of income, the flow of spiritual current that is also attached to money, so that you can live a beautiful life. Now, stay tuned on my channel, because I'm going to be publishing more videos around spiritual currency, around wealth building. And if you guys are interested in that, I have an entire activation series of 11 guided meditations that reprogram your subconscious around wealth and success, including your own wealth blueprint for this incarnation in the Akashic Records. Yes, we will go through together in this channeled meditation and reprogram your wealth blueprint. It's really beautiful. I highly recommend it. I will leave a link in the description below for you guys with a very special YouTube promo code so you can cop those meditations. I am a shaman. They do actually work at the cellular level of your energetic blueprint. And when I say shaman, I mean I am a medicine person. I work at the energetic cosmic level of helping you retrain your energy. My delivery method for my medicine are meditations. It's the easiest way for me to deliver the energetic codes and downloads to you, for you, to your energetic system, using your own Akashic Records, which are the blueprint of your soul. I'm gonna tap in for another moment here. This crystal has been guiding my whole video. They're telling me to share a little bit about my Ascension method with you guys. So the way that I work my Ascension practice is I focus on stepping into the highest version of myself every day. It is a daily practice. It is about making micro adjustments and creating sustainable habits so that you can step into more larger shifts or changes in your own transformation long term. It's about making choices as often and frequently as you can every day that support the higher versions of yourself. Simply that support the life that you want to live, that are more conscious decisions, that are less unconscious decisions, that are literally what you know you need to do, and less falling back into patterns of like self-loathing or self-hatred or self-doubt. It is a constant process. Ascension is never done. You are never fully enlightened. Every moment is an activation of becoming enlightened or less enlightened, depending on what choices you're making. Time really doesn't exist at the level of energy, so at any moment, you can choose to be more enlightened or less enlightened. And if you were more enlightened a year ago, it doesn't really mean anything about now. So everything is happening all at once. Your enlightenment is a moment-to-moment process. You never get there. You are always living it. So my ascension process is stepping into that awakened state as frequently as you possibly can and learning to meet yourself with love and grace, humility, kindness, and compassion with everything that you're going through and everything that you're living through. And what I love to say about ascension and enlightenment is like, it's kind of funny because I've been doing this stuff for like 16 years and people all the time are like, oh, you must not have these problems. And I'm like, be please. She got problems. The difference is that when you are walking a path of enlightenment and your attention is constantly on ascension, that you're just awake and aware while you navigate your problems. So the problems never go away. We just trade shitty problems for better problems, right? Like, fast example, trade problems of poverty to problems of wealth. I have too much money. I now have to invest it. Otherwise I'm gonna have to pay more tax. Like, or there's the problem of poverty, which is I don't have enough. I have to scrape. I have to do whatever. Like, it's all relative. Like, the challenges never leave. You're never gonna be without challenge. It's just like not what Earth is. Like, we are in challenge school. So it's about, on the moment-to-moment process, deciding which challenges you want to engage in, because it's all relative. It's all going to put the same amount of pressure on you. It's going to be difficult. It always is. We can choose ease through the process, right? But like, there's no lack of challenge. Billionaires don't have a lack of challenge. They just have different challenges, right? Do you get where I'm going with this? So on the moment-to-moment basis, we get to choose what sort of challenges do we want to engage with. There's always going to be pressure. It takes pressure to create a diamond. You are a diamond. That coal is going to be pressurized for long periods of time. When you know that that's what you're here for as a human, and that we're in a real, like, beautiful spiritual development process, then you know that you get to select the type of challenges that you have. It's not about escaping challenge. It's about deciding what sort of challenges you'd prefer. Personally, I prefer the challenge of like the success tax, like having more success and having to try to figure out what to do with too much attention or too much visibility or a lot of demands on my time. Then I prefer to be quiet and hidden and some level of being a hermit, which is totally in my background and something I used to prefer. It's about knowing which problems you want to trade for different problems. Like for example, if you want to be a public figure and you're used to having a lot of space around yourself and a lot of time to yourself and you feel safe with not that much attention on you, but you want to be a public figure, or let's say you want to step into some level of being a celebrity, you would need to be comfortable with a lot of attention on you, with a lot of demands on you, with a lot of people reaching at you and for you, and be okay with that, which then comes with different challenges, different problems, right? And then different solutions. The sorts of challenges change. When you're in like a hermit mode and you're hidden, you feel safe, right? But the challenge is becoming visible and getting enough attention to be able to support yourself and your needs. When you are very visible and there are a lot of people vying for your time and attention, the challenge is saying no to things, being able to vet and discern opportunities very, very quickly, knowing what's for you, what's not for you, borderline immediately, being comfortable saying no so that you can cut off and create your space. So the challenges are different. The pressure is always there. The point of stepping into the next version of yourself is which challenges are going to meet you in the next version of yourself. So if you want to be a public figure, if that's something you've been looking forward to creating and manifesting in your vortex of who you are, but you're attached to the structure and the challenge of having to seek visibility or having to like catch up to it or reach for it or chase it, and you prefer all of your alone time, like that's how you feel safe, like those things are in direct conflict. In order to step into the more public figure role, you would have to also accept the challenges that your new life now is fast discernment. Like, yes, no, that's for me, that's not for me, get this out of my face. Yes, I want that. I'm not chasing anything. Everything's actually coming to me and it's here, which means I'm all of a sudden a fast sorter of opportunity. Like, it's gonna change. Like, how okay with you are you with attention? That's just like a quick example of how you'd shift your own identity around the challenges. When people look to transform into new versions of themselves, they're often looking to adopt new traits, or like, what's the identity of this version of myself? And part of that identity, one of the easiest ways I find to align with a new identity is to say, what are the challenges and the problems that come with that identity? And can I get very comfortable with what those problems are? Because I feel like a lot of us try to chase the new identity by removing the problems, and then we go into a new set of problems, and then we hit an upper limit, we get really scared, and then we retreat back to the old identity because we weren't prepared for those problems. And there's a reason why we haven't shifted yet, and it's because those problems look terrifying to us. So when you start to identify the new identity, the new version of myself, the person I'm becoming comes with these problems, these challenges. Like, if you want to make $5 million next year, whether you are building a business or you won the lotto, I don't know, however the universe wants to give that to you, are you prepared to pay those taxes? And that is not a negative. It's literally part of the process. Part of the process of receiving cash windfall is also giving a certain amount to the government. And are you prepared for that? Or when you get there, would you like freak out and cause yourself a shit fit? That would prevent your subconscious from attracting those circumstances because you're not ready for the new problems. So I don't know if hopefully this will vibe with you guys, but something I really have been thinking so much about is how can I exchange the problems I currently have for new, more elevated problems? And how do I give myself the thought and the contemplation and the safety and the security of like thinking ahead of time, knowing that those problems are better than these problems, and that I'm okay with accepting those problems, and that it's safe for me to step into that new version of myself, knowing that my ego might thrash a little fit about it, and that I'm already like pre-prepared for it. I hope this makes sense for you guys. This was such a different sort of channel than I usually do, but I really feel like that was the message. That was the message. I hope you enjoyed it. So January is all about lighting a fire under your butt, going from third gear into fifth gear, attracting beautiful, deep, intimate connections, whether it's in your current relationship or developing a new relationship, throwing the pedal to the metal on your career and stepping into public image. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video so much. If you did, please go like the video below. It would mean so much to me. Tap that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates. I'd love to hear in the comments below what resonated with you most, if there's anything I said that like really sparked an aha for you or a moment of clarity. My crystal wants to say hello again. It is sending you light codes from Los Angeles. One day I will open up a crystal shop. It's coming. If I could even part with these. You guys, I get so attached to them. They're my buddies. And I hope you guys have an amazing January. If you haven't checked out some of my most recent videos, I will link them in the description below. I've been pumping out some good content. And if you love the soulmate vibe, want to learn more about soulmates and twin flames, I have a video that I'll link somewhere below or in the card where you can go check out the video on all the different sorts of soulmate connections. If you guys love my vibe and want to work with me, I'll leave some links in the description below. I have a couple of online programs and of course my Transformation Accelerator program where I work with you one-on-one in a deep dive transformation for 6 to 12 months. I love you guys so much. Enjoy the month, enjoy the brand new year, and I'll see you in the next video.